Good evening and a very warm welcome to Television Tonga's news package for this evening. Making headlines, Tonga commemorates China's 64th anniversary of independence. Community Education Training Centre students in Tonga celebrate the school's Golden Jubilee. People in Notapu constituency number 5 concerns over the primary school's syllabus, and Tongan Gava Club Mailo and the Fofoanga Club joins hands in helping disabilities. These and more stories later on in this bulletin, together with the latest from around the region and sports. I'm Fatai Whaingaa with your news for tonight. Tonga last night commemorates China's 64th anniversary of independence since 1949. During the momentous occasion, issues were being boasted on both the countries' partnership. Attending the program was Her Royal Highness Princess Piloleva Tuita, China's ambassador, His Excellency Wang Donghua, ministers of the ground and nobles of the realm, parliamentarians, diplomatic corps, the local Chinese community, and many guests. In a remark to represent the nation, the acting Prime Minister, Lord Ma'afu, says that China is one of Tonga's development partners for many years now. That long-standing tie has strengthened partnership of the two countries.
The Government of Tonga firmly adheres to China's core value of One China policy and our joint understanding not to interfere in each other's internal affairs. These remain the important belief in our relations as they reinforce the principle of mutual respect for each other's sovereignty. His Majesty's Government is grateful for the assistance rendered by the Chinese government, local Chinese community through generous donations, grant aid and construction projects. These projects have improved the daily lives of Tongan citizens through facilitating commerce, communication and development. China's responsive program of economic and technical cooperation has immensely benefited the government, which focused on national development.
The acting Prime Minister also proposed a toast to the leader and people of China.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the President.
Meanwhile, the Chinese ambassador, His Excellency Wang Donghua, spoke of the two nations' partnership.
As Pacific and developing countries, China and Tonga share a wide range of common interests, face the common task of development, and have the common need to further explore and strengthen cooperation. We complement each other in our respective pursuit of economic development. For instance, China has a huge market, abundant capital, and the state-of-the-art technology of which Tonga can make use to the betterment of its economic development. While Tonga boasts of its unique resources in a number of areas, including tourism, agriculture, fishery, and new energy, in which some Chinese investors have shown keen interest.
This momentous event has been commemorated annually in Tonga since China's establishment of its diplomatic office in Nuku'alofa. The ex-students of the Community Education Training Centre, CETC, of the Secretariat of the South Pacific Community today celebrates its 50th anniversary. The institute was established in 1963, aiming at empowering women to engage in various developments that will help and benefit themselves. The event was held at the Dateline Hotel. Television and Radio Tonga's news reporter Sin Lato was there and found this report.
Nobles of the realm and foreign diplomats attend the program to mark the significant role of the Institute in empowering women in Tonga. In a keynote address from the guest of honor, Lord Vaya, he highlighted several programs held this month to underline the importance of women, such as the Women's Roll Call in the month of September and passing of the Family Protection Bill.
I am sure that it is not a coincidence that the Tonga alumni of SPC, CETC, have picked this day to mark the 50th Golden Jubilee of the Community Education Training Centre. The month of September in Tonga is a special month for women. It is when women are appreciated by society, their loved ones, the church and the community in the Whakaseptember. It is a month where women are thankful for their livelihoods, their spiritual lives, and their families. This special day, Your Excellencies, is even more special. That is also marked in September.
The principal of the school, Dr. Liamaka, also spoke of SPC's vision towards women taking part in the CETC program.
After training and on return to their homes, these women would pass on their new skills within their communities and through the establishment of women's groups. And this became the enduring, long-term vision which was the basis for the establishment of the center.
The program concluded with the inspection of the women's works led by the guest of honor, Lord Vaya, and the Speaker of Parliament, Lord Fafanua, followed by foreign diplomats and many guests. These were taught at the CETC. Meanwhile, the ex-students are not only celebrating the school's 50th anniversary, but also mark the new era of the Institute, where it will be handed over to operate under the umbrella of the University of the South Pacific.
One of the concerns raised by the peoples of constituency number 5 of Tongatapu Aisakeke was a concern from the people of Nukunuku regarding the syllabus authored in primary school. This is in regards to the English subject in primary level, which is only taught beginning at class 4 levels and higher, but not at class 1. The people's representative for Hapai Mo'alefi now supported this. Kalalaini Tonglava has the details.
This is part of the concerns raised during the parliamentary report from the People's Representative for Tongatapu number 5, Aisakeke, where 16 villages and an island are registered under. In response, the Honourable Minister of Education and Training, Dr. Anna Tauwhelungaki, says Cabinet approved for this new policy in 2008, which came into effect in 2009. Dr. Tauwhelungaki says the reason for this is to first equip the primary students with the foundation of the Tongan language before they are taught on the English subject. The Honourable Education Minister says this aims at preserving and maintaining the Tongan culture, which revolves around the Tongan language. Dr. Tauwhelungaki also told the People's Representative for Tongatapu number 5 that they believe if students understand their own language, then it will be easier for them to learn about the English subject. Meanwhile, other concerns were raised from the parliamentary visit report of Tongatapu number 5 includes the concern for the water systems, road maintenance, and also a demand to install the tsunami alert systems in order to alert the people in the Western District in times of natural disasters. Also, during Parliament's discussions yesterday on the issue, the People's Representative for Hapai 12, Mo'alefi, now says Tonga's education systems needs reform. This is because young talented students should not be declined of any educational opportunities, such as teaching them the English subject at a young age. Reporting for Television Tonga News, I'm Kalolaine Tonglava.
The linesmen at the Tonga Power Limited are currently investigating the electrical fault which affected the high voltage cable that distributes power supplies to the transformer at the Reserve Bank. This led to a power outage last night at parts of the Nuku'alofa areas. Linda Affiliate reports.
Speaking to Television Tonga News this morning, the Chief Executive Officer of Tonga Power Limited, John Van Prince, says the power outage occurs around 8:30 last night.
We had a fault on the high voltage cable that supplies a transformer at the Reserve Bank. The cable failed and as a result it dropped the supply to the central parts of Nuku'alofa. Cable failure was unexpected and the guys are here this morning trying to find out what's happening. But as a result of the failure, the supply went off to a large part of the central town. Fault staff had to go out and first of all locate the fault, and obviously that takes a little bit of time at night when there's nobody working in certain places. Once the fault was found, they isolated the faulty cable and got supply back onto the feed at the town. So we're now left with repairing the supply into the Reserve Bank building.
The CEO of Tonga Power Limited also said when there is a power disruption, they're doing their best to reconnect it as soon as possible.
Just a reminder to customers, if the power supply goes off, is to treat all the wiring and everything as being live. Switch off appliances that can be damaged or are sensitive when supply comes back on, but treat all supplies as being live because the power will come back on at any time when the faultmen have done their work.
He also urged the customer to use uninterrupted power supply or UPS to help minimize the problem for the automatic power outage. Meanwhile, radio and television Tonga News understand that the public are not able to seek compensation if there is any damage to their property caused by the power supply. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
The MBF Bank has assisted the Tonga Breast Cancer Society in its drive to promote breast cancer awareness program to the locals. This is part of the society's preparation for the World Breast Cancer Day next month. The 1,500 pa'anga check was presented by the head of the MPF Account Division, David Takoteu. Anasi Falekano with the details.
David Takoteu from MBF Bank presenting a check worth more than 1,000 pa'anga to Christine Utaatu from the Tonga Breast Cancer Society. Ms. Takoteu says this aims to support the Tonga Breast Cancer Society with its upcoming presentations.
This year we a little bit more donation, just to showing our support. We have been a very supportive donor of the Breast Cancer Society. It's just is something to donate to the society as a whole, especially women. And we are very much appreciate the work of the society and the increasing of the awareness, and we will be continuing our support in the future.
In the meantime, Christine Utaatu represented the Tonga Breast Cancer Society upon receiving this donation. Mrs. Utaatu thanked the bank for its generous donation. She also adds that the money will be used for funding their awareness programs on radio and television.
When we first started the society, we didn't even want to use the word breast on TV or in the radio or anything, because it was so taboo and all that. But now it's really come a long way, and people aren't as shy to talk about it. So the main thing that we're doing, because we're not curing anything, we're just awareness and supporting the women who are affected and their families. And encourage women to come forward, because over the years we found that people who came forward during our month of October, telling them to come to the clinics now, a few people found out they did have breast cancer and then got treated and so forth. So it's early detection is very important. So it's really we try to emphasize like self-examination or going to see a medical person if you suspect you may have breast cancer. Even in the short time we've been doing this, we're getting a lot more people coming forward. So that's the important thing.
Also, Tonga Breast Cancer Society calls on the public to wear pink next month as part of their awareness program. Anasiu Falekano for Television Tonga News.
People with disabilities are the important members of the community and should be given special attention. This initiates a joint program between the members of the Mailo Tongan Gava Club from Homa and the Fofo Anga Club in preparing food for those with disabilities from different walks of life.
These are people with disabilities, together with staff from the Alonga, Ofatu and Amanaki centres at the Fofo Anga Tongan Gava Club in Nuku'alofa. This initiative from the Fofo Anga Club in collaboration with the Mailo Club is a monthly program which are held at the last Thursday of every month. According to Mr. Nonovahe from Homa, the purpose of this volunteering program is these are the people who cannot help themselves. We feel that this is our greatest role, to prepare food and distribute it to feed people who cannot help themselves. They need to feel special. Also, Lavinia Sardini from the Alonga Centre says that people in the centre are always pleased to join this monthly event. The people always call this day a Christmas day, for they know it is the last Thursday of the month and will be coming to Fofo Anga. More than 20 people with disability attended yesterday's luncheon program together with their guardians. Masiu Falekaono for Television Tonga News.
Hundreds of youth from Tongatapu and the outer islands of Vava'o and Hawaii this morning attended the first ever Nuku'alofa Youth Conference hosted by the Baha'i local community. Whanonga Veikoso has that report.
The conference is made possible after the Baha'i headquarters in Israel approved for this gathering to be hosted by its local denomination in the kingdom. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the local representative from the Baha'i Universal of Justice in Israel, Henry Tamashiro, says it is exciting to bring youth together to discuss some main concern and challenges faced by youth.
So the purpose of the conference is actually to bring the youth together and raise the conscience that the world actually needs the youth to actually come involved and become engaged themselves, so that they can contribute to the transformation of their society. Yeah, that's the purpose of it. Actually, is to provide awareness to the youth that they have great potentials within themselves, and how would they contribute to assist with the transformation of their own society.
According to Mr. Tamashiro, the issues highlighted in the meeting includes enhancing youth on how to better adapt to new environment.
Yes, actually the youths all over the world, they have a lot of challenges, but at the same time the society around them face challenges with them as well. But we all need to understand that the youths, they have a lot of potential, they have a lot of capacities, and they can change the world. But how can we actually bring them in, engage them in the work of the transformation of the society? That is the big question for all of us to consider.
This conference is not limited only to the youth from the Baha'i Church, but also from different communities, including Tongatapu and the other islands.
It is vital to strengthen women's empowerment in Tonga so they would handle their own work without depending on others. This is the purpose of conducting a workshop facilitated by Tonga Trust for women from different walks of life.
One of the main activities taught at a special training organized by Tonga Trust was teaching women on art creation and designs. Cecilia Taumepeau from Tonga Trust spoke more of the purpose of the program. The main purpose of this workshop is to enhance the women's skills and knowledge of creative activities that can help them earn a living to support their families. Women from 4 villages of Papua, Ahau, Lapaha and Makaunga took part in this workshop, which will end next week. Whanonga Veikoso for Television Tonga News.
That's the local news. Pacific is up next.